Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Crooked Hat Dom Mafia Roundtable. We'll get this hat right. One of these days, I can't look. I can't look at the camera. There we go. We got it right. We got it low. We got it crooked. It doesn't matter. That's all. We're having fun here. There we go. We got some semblance of that. Hope everybody's having a great day. Thank you for coming on today. Today, it always feels like somebody's watching me. They could watch all they want, folks. But you know what? We're here. We're going to expose today. We're exposing definitely. So before we get started, Johnny Privalone in the house. Let's go, Yankees. Yep. What's up, Step? Golf. Kathleen. Jamie Sakala, how are you today? Who do we got? Lee B in the house. We'll scroll down real quick. John Haas, I think I said that. Golf. Cynthia, as always. John. We have another John. Hello. Who else? Let's scroll real quick. Anthony Michael, Johnny Privalone. What's going on? Parker Street Girl. Hello to you. The Yicker, what's up? Liverpool, London. James, what's up? Matthew, good to see you. Thank you for coming on. Daniel, Big Arms. James, Pat, what's going on? Today, listen, between Trump, Pam Bondi, and Patel, you guys have to get on the ball here. You really do, because there's a lot of things that are going on. I can't go in. I could go into detail. I'm going to expose some people with public knowledge. It's public knowledge because I was basically threatened in a way. I'm going to get sued. They're going to come after me for whatever reason. Come after me all you want. It's all public knowledge what we're about to expose from between Tom Mollick, Marty Kritis. Those are two of the owners of E.G. Vodka. And you know what? Cool. Dominic's a dummy. Dominic's an idiot. Dominic doesn't know anything. They keep on saying that. But all I do know, Mr. Mollick, that you told me how the case got dismissed. A federal indictment got thrown out. And we have the federal indictment right here that did get dismissed, Mr. Mollick. A federal indictment, folks. All you people know federal indictments never get thrown out. They tell you to go to trial. But, you know, he passed comments that Trump, by the way, people are using your lawyers to get out of cases. So I would really look into that, Mr. President Trump, all day long. Pam Bondi, you know, your name got thrown around a lot too. That Mr. Mollick knows you very well. So, you know, doesn't look good, Pam. So I really think you guys need to start doing your job because no one's above the law. No one's above the law. And what's going on is just really despicable. It's disgusting. They think they have impunity. They could do what they want. And I'm not even going to go into the recent stuff. I'm not going to do it because there's an ongoing case with that. So we're not even going to talk about that. But I will talk about this. I'll show you the people what Tom Mollick and Marty Kritis got away with, what they are getting away with. And really, in my opinion, it's disgusting. And again, it's all public knowledge out there. All you have to do is punch in Thomas Mollick, Marty Kritis. So we have an indictment here. It was an indictment. See that? Indictment. So we'll go into some of the particulars of this indictment, folks. RX Development and Associates, we'll just say RXD, which is also all over the place. All over the place, folks. Once I'm finished with what's going on, I'm really going to expose a lot. A lot. I mean, it's going to go, it gets bad. It gets really bad. Thank God it seems like we have a good judge, federal judge. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm tired. I'm tired of people taking advantage. I'm a workhorse, as everybody knows. I do what I have to do to build, to grow a business. And really, people, they get so much money, they think they're above the law, that they could treat anybody any way they want. And it's just not right. Making false allegations, false pretenses, submitting false documentation, altering things. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. But you know what? At the end of the day, you have to trust in our legal system. But with this indictment, the Tampa prosecutorial office, the prosecutor's office, wow. Was it true? Because when I looked up the records, I didn't see any Trump's attorneys signed on to the case. But he said he had the lawyer on. He had Trump's lawyer on. And I'm not even going to blow up the lawyer's name just yet. I'll wait. But Mr. Trump, if somebody gets to you, tells you what's going on, if you hear this channel, you really need to stop. Not you. Not you. Your attorneys can't go around making sidebar deals, because since when do you hear the federal government throws out an indictment? Multi-count indictment throws it out? Come on. I've been around a lot. We have Tom Mollick, Marty Critis, Mollick Enterprises. We have Eastwood and Associates. But it starts off. Business number one, a California corporation with a principal place, blah, 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 at the solicitation and direction of Mollick and Critis. That's Tom Mollick, Marty Critis. Business one made illegal kickback payments. Business one, at the direction of Mollick and Critis, made illegal kickback payments directly to MEI, made the payments directly to MEI, then paid a portion of the illegal kickback payments to EW. EW. And it's right here. I'm reading from the indictment, folks. Conspiracy. Beginning as early in or around January 12th and continuing through at least or about March of 2017. 5 years, folks. 5 years. 5 years. Thomas Mollick and Marty Critis did knowingly and willfully combine, conspire, confederate, and agree with each other and with others, both known and unknown, the grand jury, to commit an offense against the United States. That is to solicit and receive illegal kickbacks and bribes in violation of 42 U.S.C. 1320A-7B-B1. Right here, folks. It's right there. We have the means and we have the means and manners of the conspiracy. The means and manners by which the defendants sought to accomplish and the object and purpose of the conspiracy included, among others, the following. It was part of the conspiracy that the conspirer would and did identify the wholesale drug supplier from which RX Development, RXD, purchased prescription drugs on behalf of its healthcare provider clients. So I'll just jump around a little bit here. There's a lot. It was further part of the conspiracy that the conspirer would and did solicit illegal kickbacks by representing to the principal business one that RX Development's, RXD's accounts would be significant and profitable for the wholesaler drug supplier, provided said supplier agreed to certain specific conditions. Basically, it's talking about all that, the conspiracy going on. Now we have overt acts. On or about January 25, 2012, Business One officially sent an email. Sent an email, folks. You can't beat this. Sent an email. Remember, email. There's proof. How did this indictment get dismissed? I'll tell you how. Mr. Mollick told me personally, Trump's attorney. I have Trump's attorney. It's getting dismissed. It's getting dismissed. All of a sudden I get the call. Bam, it got dismissed. See, money could buy anything. Happy, happy, happy. He was ecstatic. Ecstatic. You're not above the law, Tom. That's for sure. You're not above the law. On or about January 25, 2012, Business One official sent an email with the subject line, is RX development set up with 10% to a Business One sales rep, and stated all RX development are set up 10% starting today. We'll be sending money on a monthly basis. On or about February 29, 2012, Mollick emailed Critus and other Business One personnel and provided instructions to RXD personnel to switch accounts from another repackager to Business One. On or about March 20, 2012, a Business Number One official emailed Mollick with the subject line, emailed, your 10% CK means check this month is $3,903.77 in the mail. Mollick later forwarded the email to Critus. Okay? It's just getting started, folks. On or about April 11, 2012, Critus emailed a Business Number One official and instructed, please void any checks you have wrote and make them out to Eastwood and Associates, Inc. I will just shred this one unless you want it back. Call me if you need further explanation, but trust me, there is a reason. It's telling them, trust me, there is a reason. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt, I promise. That's what he tells them. He said the word with the A, but I'm cleaning it up a little bit. On or about May 9th, 2012, Mollick emailed a Business One official and instructed said Business One official to issue checks to MEI. Issue checks to MEI. On or about May 24, 2012, Mollick emailed Critus and Mollick's tax accounting firm and instructed his accountant, in part, please cut a check for Eastwood and Associates for $41,741.19 and put it in the mail today. On or about June 7, 2012, Critus sent an email with the subject line, Business Number One, stating, we have not received anything from them yet. We have not received anything from them yet, the subject line. Mollick responded to Critus stating, received all into MEI. Received all into MEI. Was part of the 41K, CK mean check, you just received from me. Okay? Now we're talking in code. So we'll continue. I wet the whistle. The indictment that got dismissed because Mollick told me he got Trump's lawyer. And I'm like, yeah, okay. When it got indicted, woo, he called real quick. On or about July 1st, 2013, Mollick, in his capacity as managing partner of RXD, signed an agreement with Business Number One, which omitted the illegal kickbacks Business Number One provided and was provided to Mollick and Critus. I'm going to read this again because you can't make this up. How the heck did this indictment get dismissed? Tell me. Tell me, can you people believe this? Here, you know what? Read it for yourselves. Read it for yourselves. And I'll read it again. On or about July 1st, 2013, Mollick, in his capacity as a managing partner of RXD, signed an agreement with business number one, which omitted the illegal kickbacks, omitting illegal kickbacks. Business number one provided and was to provide to Mollick and Critus. Now here we go. Over at Axe. Gear up. On or about June 25th, 2015, check to EW for $90,001.51. December 21st, 2015, check to EW for $79,440. $444.50. Goes on or about the date set for below, each of which constitutes a separate overact, business number one paid and caused to be paid illegal kickbacks and bribes. On or about the date, I'm going to read this again. You can't make this up, folks. You can't make it up. How did this indictment get dismissed? How? Tell me how. Money. Having a lot of money. Prosecutors. Bondi. Trump. Patel. Get on your business. Get DEA. Get everybody involved. Get on your business. Because what these men are continuing to do, can't discuss it right now. I got a lot of proof. Outside of that. I got a lot of proof. We'll continue though here. On or about the date set forth below, each of which constitutes a separate overt act. Business number one, paid, and caused to be paid. Illegal kickbacks and bribes. To MEI, which was controlled by Mollick. Tom Mollick. In the appropriate amounts specified. June 10, 2016, check to MEI, $55,903.79. July 11, 2016, check to MEI, $48,065.49. August 10, 2016, check to MEI, $48,020.54. September 14, 2016, check to MEI, $47,495.43. October 10, check to MEI for $44,929.75. November 9, 2016, check to MEI for $51,104.58. December 9, 2016, check to MEI for $41,820.63. January 11, 2017, check to MEI for $41,944.42. February 10, 2017, check to MEI for $40,544.83. March 13, 2017, check to MEI for $42,682.57, folks. Could you believe that? But the indictment got thrown out. Count 2, soliciting and receiving illegal retribution, kickbacks, and bribes. Thomas Mollick and Marty Critus, aided and abetted by each other, did knowingly and willfully solicited, received illegal kickbacks, bribes, and rebates in approximate in the approximate amount of $42,682 from business number one, directly and indirectly, overtly and covertly, in cash and in kind, to introduce such person, in parentheses A, to refer as individual to a person for furnishing and arranging for the furnishing of an item and service, to, in parentheses B, to purchase, order, and arrange for and recommend purchasing and ordering a good, service, and item for which payment may be made in whole and in part under federal health care program, that is DOL/OWCP, in violation of 42 USC 1320A-7B B1 and 18 USC 2. Folks, can't make this up, but I will show you. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Can't make it up. This was signed. Greg DiPazzo, Assistant United States Attorney. And Rachel, I don't even know, Assistant U.S. Attorney, Chief Economics Crime Division. Signed. And then gone, just like that. Dismissed. You know, folks, and wait till I go. We're going to go into big money. With more factual backgrounds. What's going on today. And this is all public record, folks. What's going on today. The monies that Marty Critus stole from Tom Mollick, that they're even talking about taxes and going in. Wait till you hear this. Folks, you can't make this up. What they get away with. This is how egregious these guys are till this day. And what they're doing now in a current case. Wait till you can't make it up. But Dominic's stupid. Dominic's an idiot. Yeah, I'm an idiot because I fell right in the trap. Fell in the trap. But you know what? I could walk around, have my head held up high. Anything I say, I back. So anybody wants, I'm here. There's no defaming or saying something inappropriate. All public record. Using my First Amendment right, freedom of speech. Thank you, God, for giving us a solid judge. Because everybody's going to be exposed in this. Because we have conspiracy, we have collusion, we have coercion going on right now, folks. Going on right now because they feel they're above the law. Mollick might be worth $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 million. Critus might be worth a few $100 million. There's other partners that are supposedly wealthy. So we'll see. We'll see when I have my day in court. We will see. I will make sure every media person is in this damn courtroom. I will make sure of it. As my right. As my rights. Only just begun to expose what has been going on. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. And watch what I'm about to read you gets better. Marty Critus and Thomas Mollick are in a major civil lawsuit against each other. A major civil lawsuit after they made hundreds of millions of dollars. Folks, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. And I'll tell you how bad. Here's where we go. The factual background that was filed. And this is all in Seminole County. I think Seminole or Orange. Just check out Seminole County. Go to the court records. And you'll see what's going on. Factual background. Plaintiff Marty Critus repeatedly reiterates false narrative. He depicts himself as a victim trying to Oh my God, you can't even make the you can't make this up. Really, you can't make this up. Cannot be trusted from what it says in the document. Critus and Mollick own various companies together. Marty Critus and Tom Mollick own various companies together. Even the companies you read in the federal indictment that got dismissed, folks, it did get dismissed, but Mr. Mollick told me how it got dismissed. Hired Trump's attorney. Boom, this is what he told me. And I checked the records. I didn't see Trump's attorney on the record. So that might be strange, not being on the record, but did call me. I was just like, yes, Tom. Tom, you know what? The advice I gave Tom, don't stress. At that time, he was stressing really bad. He's like, Dom, I don't know. I said, don't stress it because these days you're losing with stress. Whatever's going to happen, I know, but I'll pay. I'll do whatever I have to do. I hired Trump's attorney. He says he's going to get it out. He'll get it dismissed. And I'm like, I'm yesing him as a friend. And I'm like, it's not going to happen. The federal government, I don't care who you hire. Sure as shit, months later, get the phone call. Dom, what did I tell you? Money buys anything. Happy. I said, congratulations. I was happy for him. But boy, these guys are venomous. Venomous. But you know what? Live and learn. More treacherous than I'd rather deal with mobsters all day long. But let me go back into their civil dispute that's going on. It gets good. And folks, you'll see the type of money because both of them they're like not even they're no-show business owners. Really. For this to happen, in late 2021, Marty Critus, I'm adding Marty to the name so people know. Oh, by the way, I'll get back in the day too. Marty Critus was in control of the operation of RXD, controlling its financials, while Mollick was involved in overseeing the workforce and developing the growth of various companies. This is the same RX development company, same RX now, that's in this federal indictment. Here. And folks, just so you know, the federal indictment, it says here, filed in open court this day, March of 2022. So in March of 2022, the federal indictment came down. So, excuse me. In December of 2021, the executive team brought to Tom Mollick's attention that RXD had a large cash deficit of approximately, is everybody sitting down? Is everybody sitting? $674,000 and was unable to pay its outstanding obligations due to Marty Critus's mismanagement and misappropriations. And let me see what the footnote says. All amounts, submission, the word approximately, okay. Goes on to say, not only was RXD in a financial position of not being able to pay its debt, but Marty Critus went as far as to refuse to forward approximately, is everybody sitting? It gets bigger. Is everybody sitting? Approximately $4,200,000 belonging to Elite Care. $4,200,000 belonging to another company they have, Elite Care, and instead kept those funds within RXD. So he could not get the exorbitant personal expenses paid using plaintiffs Eastwood and Associates as his accomplice. There was also at that time a credit line of $1,500,000 that was maxed out and owed. Therefore, the actual deficit at the end of 2021 would have been $6,374,000, instead of the $674,000 had Critus not kept the monies that belonged to Elite Care RX LLC in RXD. So he and Eastwood could siphon it for themselves. Greed, my friends. Greed. Greed. Never enough. Never enough. So this is a current civil battle going back and forth. Going back and forth. These are companies they own. So what Marty Critus, what Tom Mollick did, he stepped in, took all operations away from Marty Critus, and Tom Mollick took over, froze him out of the company. They're going back and forth. Going back and forth. It goes back. Below are the money stolen by Critus and Eastwood during the indicated years. It shows the amounts wrongly taken by Critus and Eastwood. The amounts include not only the amounts taken by Critus and Eastwood belonging to Mollick, but also the taxes. Also the taxes at a 30% tax rate paid by Mollick to the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. Not only on those monies taken by Critus and Eastwood that belong to Mollick, but also the taxes paid by Mollick were due and payable. So you mean to tell me this guy's siphoning money, stealing money, misappropriating it, burying it who knows where? Their books have to be all over the place. The IRS should go back in and review all books, all the records. Because if this money was taken without anybody knowing how many years? How many years? I'll tell you, we have 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. 2016, here. There's all the proof. There's all the proof. Look at those numbers. 17 million, 8 million, 8 million, 4 million, 1.6 million. Amount owed to Mollick, $6,158,898.77. This is what they have going on. These are the people that were federally indicted. Federally indicted for, you heard, kickbacks, bribes, kickbacks, medical. Folks, you can't make this up. Cannot make this up. Can't make it up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can't make it up. But it did get dismissed. It got dismissed. How is that possible? Can somebody explain to me? How is it possible? A federal indictment gets dismissed. Gets dismissed. I don't know. And what's going on now? So we'll just facilitate these people. We'll just continue to facilitate them, let them do what they want and take everybody out in their wake. They could do what they want. They could make a mockery of the courts, of the systems. They could file fraudulent filings, bad faith filings. I'm not going to go into it, but people, everything's public record. Go Google. Check it out. Check it out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can't make this up. Can't make this up. Unbelievable. So, would anybody like to share? And Bobby, we know you, Bobby. You know, it's funny, Bobby. It's called iCloud. So you could scrub the internet, but you can't scrub the documents I printed that I have. So, Bobby, we're going to expose you next with paperwork, public knowledge. You scrub the internet, Bob. You didn't scrub documents saved on computers, downloaded, printed out, Bob. So we got those articles. So You'll be the next one. But with Tom, Marty, days coming. Everybody pays for their sins. And remember, now I exposed how you got out of from what you told me, Tom, what you told me. Again, I didn't see Trump's lawyer on your legal team. When I checked everything out, I didn't see him. Or maybe I missed it. Could have missed it. Happens. But never heard of a federal indictment. Kickbacks. Emails saying it. I read it to you folks. I read it. They had proof. How? How did it get thrown out? How? When everybody else in the Medicaid, Medicare, medical business gets locked up. You know why, Hal? He didn't have a vowel at the end of his name. It wasn't Farisi. Tommy Farisi. Wasn't Farisi. Wasn't Sakali. Wasn't Barone. Mollick and Critus. Trump's lawyer. So, Mr. President, and I know you would not tolerate this. I know that. Your lawyers, if it is true, I believe in you. I definitely believe in you for what you're doing. There's some things I don't agree with. I'm not a butt kisser, but you know what? I agree with what you do. You need to have them reinvestigated, open up the case, because what they're still getting away with, what I know, factual, is totally disgusting. It's really what they just did is just beyond reapproach, beyond. I could tell everybody this though, and I'll keep it at this. My shares in E.G. Vodka, let them talk about it. State judge ruled they could not take my shares of the company. Went for an emergency injunction. She granted it. Cannot take my shares. You know what they did? They took my shares. Her words, nothing. Mr. Trump, if it was your lawyer that got this man out of the case because, your name carries a lot of weight and you hold a big punch. Look what these guys are doing now. Look what they're doing now. Disregarding a state court ruling. They did. Got the proof. Have the proof. Just disregarded everything. And now, have to fight it. So I believe in the legal system. That's what we have to do. But I'm here. I'll use my platform to start exposing. I can't come out with everything as per the lawyer's advice. But you know what? That little tidbit, I could say. They think they're above the law. Nobody should be above the law. Talk about Democrats. Look what these guys are doing. Look what they're doing. It's disgusting. It needs to stop. Tampa, FBI, DEA, Middle District, U.S. attorneys, Pam Bondi. You got to stop this. Because in their wake, they don't care who they destroy. They think they're above the laws. They have money. Has to stop. Please, I implore you. Get on your jobs. And if I'm governor, I'm going to be fair. I don't hold grudges. But you have skeletons in your closet, you're going to jail. And I could care less what people say, what they have to say. I did my time. I did what I had to do. And I turned my life around. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit back and watch them destroy other people. So I'm not the only one. There's a lot more to this story that I'm not disclosing right now. Because things are ongoing. But it's gotten out of hand. So you can make all the threats you want, Mr. Thomas Mollick and Mr. Marty Critus, having all your little ghouls and goblins talk about how you're going to come after me and destroy me and just ruin me because of your big bad money, that you have so much money. You're going to hit me for defamation and this and that. It's all public record, my brothers. All public record. So you know what? I'm going to use my platform, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to get the media involved. I'm going to keep on going and pushing and keep on going and pushing and not stop. Not stop. And that's it. When I'm right, folks, I'm right. There's nothing going to stop me or back me up. When I'm wrong, I'm humble enough to admit it and back up. Not wrong. Not wrong. So, would anybody like, Chris S2 says, license to steal at the Lord, not monitored. It's crazy. It's crazy. Darren says, great show, and my boys watching all the way from Dublin. We got Dublin in the house. Let me hit my chats here, my fan funding. German, thank you for the contribution. German says, sign the petition, Dom for governor. Keep them honest. German, I will keep everyone honest. You know what? I'm an advocate of doing things the right way. And trust me, folks, I slip up. I just, it burns me inside. People ask why you don't sleep. You don't sleep. I can't sleep with this going on because it boils, it bubbles. And then I have that little monster caged up inside. I'm like, don't stress the things you can't change. Change the things you can. German, thank you again for the other contribution. German says, OCN to the moon, baby, all the way to the next level. And about OCN, folks, we're going to be talking Wednesday about OCN. But please, let me tell you something about OCN, Official Crypto Nostra. There's people on here, and I'm not going to expose the person, people on here who tell you people to sell, sell, sell. You know what they're doing, and I busted them. I caught them. I'm not going to expose them just yet. But they're telling people to sell. When they sell, they buy. And then people get back in because they see it's going up, and then they're selling. They're playing you. So don't listen to anybody. Be your own person. If you need the money, sell. No problem. But if you don't be persuaded. Don't be persuaded. There's people on here that can verify because it happened to them, and they got busted. But anyway, any questions about Tom Mollick or Marty Critis? So, project 2025. Dapper Donald's plan. Big Arm says, Dom, what's up with E.G. Vodka? Go Google it. Check it out. It might be state court is in, I think, Orange County. State court ruling, the judge, check it out. And there might be a federal, if it's on record, check it out. It's public record in Tampa. Federal courthouse, check it out. So you have the names. Can't stop anybody from looking it up, but I'm not going to go into details. So it's ongoing. Anthony Michael, anyone needing help buying OCM, reach out to me. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Anthony and Cynthia have been a tremendous, tremendous help, folks. Tremendous. I want to thank everybody. James says, Cynthia, could you email me how to get coin? Yes, it's on there. We'll be talking about it Wednesday. We'll be going over everything. So I'll have Benny and Lee on the live. James says, Donald and what's a Hegseg? Did a pathetic. Okay. I was deleted. Okay. James, Cynthia said, go domsicali.com, scroll down, and it tells you how to buy the coin. Thank you, Cynthia, for that. Unknown Trader 1 says, it's like an old man in OTB. He gives 10 different guys tips on a horse. Absolutely. War says that Anthony Michael 6 blown disc in the spine. Oh, Lord. Sorry to hear that. Wow. Lee needs to have his camera on and stop hiding. Oh, we'll get him on camera next time, John. We'll definitely get him on camera. Step. Dom, the capos on here are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. They're my team. Couldn't have done it without everybody. Thank you so much. Folks, I hope everybody enjoyed or listened carefully to what I had to say. But if I get the clemency that I'm looking for and I run for governor, I'm going to put an end to all this. The prosecutors are going to do their jobs properly. And nobody's going to be bought anymore if that was the case, if that was truly the case. I could only say what I was told by Mr. Mollick. But if that was the case, it's disgusting. It's disgusting this day and age. Dom, judiciaries are corrupt. You know what? But you still have to believe in the system. I have to. You have to have faith. I have faith in this federal judge. I have faith in the state judge. It's clear as day. It's blatant. When I tell you it's blatant, trust me. If I thought it wasn't blatant, I would have wrapped it up. I would have said, you know what, put my tail between my legs and gave up. But nope. James says, deleting comments if you say anything about, but thank you. Listen, no, you could say what you want. It's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I didn't delete it. You know what? I agree with Trump. I disagree with Trump. As far as I think Biden was just not all there upstairs. Let's go to Obama. I believed in some of the things he did. I didn't believe. So I try to hit the middle, meet the middle, and that's it. Chris says, a bottle of whiskey and a track from my grandpa's good grandpa, God rest his soul. Well, may he rest in peace, Chris. True, Dom, you're correct. Well, thank you, Step. Appreciate it. AID, I hope so, Dom. There's so much going on. There is, but you got to believe. You got to believe. Dom, too smart to be a MAGA mush brain. Listen, I believe in everybody. I believe the left or right about things. The right are right about things. The right are wrong about some things. The left is wrong about some things. So I try to see the middle. That's where I go. And I use common sense and the way I feel. And that's the way it is. It's honest and that's it. Can't stop it. Biden sucked, but wasn't okay. James, I got the point. So that's the way you feel. You're entitled to it. Respect it. So let's move on, please. Thank you. Guys, you're not going to like everything. Someone's focused and similarities of the world. Can't please everybody in life. That's one thing I've learned as a human being, street guy, captain. Can't do it. Lee Montoya, what's going on? Lee says, I got sucker punched 10 days ago. The dude spent 3 days in the hospital. The dude spent 3 days. You go, Lee, but if you get hit, you have to defend yourself, without a doubt. Rainey goes, no party is 100% right. Thank you. Agreed. Although the right, in my humble opinion, is better than Biden and Harris. I agree to that. I think, and I'm sorry to say, Biden wasn't all there upstairs. He was losing his mind. We all know that. We've seen that coming. And Harris, I think, is not that sharp or intelligent. I'm sorry. Obama was one of the most eloquent speakers in history. Charming, witty, quick. I liked him. I liked Obama. So there's some things I like about him, some things I didn't. But you can't take that away from the man. He was left. One of the most eloquent speakers in history. He could speak. He could definitely speak. Anyway, world needs more respect and God. Absolutely, Step. Without a doubt. So, anyway, Dom, did you know Sandro? No, I did not know Sandro. Anyway, folks, we're going to start wrapping it up. If you want, just maybe come on tomorrow, Monday. We'll see. We'll see how things work. We have Philly 1. Yo, Dom, that punk Dan and Gene show was making fun of OCN, and you were talking real bad about Barone. Gene was laughing right along with him. He's not your friend. Thank you for letting me know. If you could send me the link so I could see the show, that would be great, and then I'll address it properly. So, and that's it. So, James, good night. What's that? Sociologically 202. Good day. Good night. We're leaving. James, have a good night. Appreciate your comments. Respect it, without a doubt. BBQ, good night. There's a specific tailor in the mob used in New York, the tailor-made suits. Yes, there was. I used Albert Lamb. That was Vinny's tailor. Then also the one who didn't make suits was Vito's Men's Shop on in the Pelham Bay section of the Bronx. Patrick, good night. Trigger, Rip, good night. Golf, War, good night. Tammy, good night. The Bronx, good night. John the Taylor, also in the Bronx, yes. Bell Futures, good night. Take care. Kathleen, Butterfly Kisses. Have a good night. Have a great weekend, everybody. Cynthia, James, Big Arms. People, much love and respect. Appreciate it. Sure, good night. Everybody, have a great weekend. God bless. And we got to stop these criminals from thinking they're above the law. That's for sure. Peace out, folks.